had 2 years of long distance, which was incredibly hard but incredibly good, and really sort of solidified our relationship. And then we came to London together. She was all skinny jeans and white canvas shoes, scarves and duffel coats, berets and beads. There was a beat about her, a carnival splash of samba patterns, a rat-a-tat-tat of shades and shapes that drew me in like open fingers. She captivated my mind. I imagined her dreams to be gleaned from mountain dust, gusts still reeling from forest fires, spires and cupolas still lifed in books sighing by her bed. I saw her thoughts as arctic horses, soaked in tundra winds, tumbling through her movements, spilling from her body, the dance of her hands, the flow of her fingers, nimble, light as the flight of whispers. Her hair was brunette, chestnut, oak and mahogany, cascading grace over her eyes when she walked, when she laughed, when she came close to me. Her lashes were unashamed, naked and fertile, and when I eventually saw her cry, it was something close to cherry blossom fluttering to her lips. She was a singer, her voice lithe and mystical, honey jazz scat on all who listened. She loved ancient things, teapots and rocking chairs, books browned and faded maps. She was not of this time, as if she'd climbed from histories to show me how to move like the past. Thus, she took my hands in her hands and we started our dance. We would meet in parks and cafes, touch fingers to fingers, touch lips to breath, touch thoughts and cheekbones, touch tears to flesh, touch yeses to eyes, touch giggles to space between touch. We touched places beyond, discovered the rush of scrunched eyelids, brushed dust from past, uncovered what we'd tasked to find in another. She would sit soft wrists and tell me her memories. I would etch her on my notepad, sketch her into my poems. We talked and whispered and listened, cross-legged on moon-drenched beds, became tangled in each other's words as children learning new things. We studied silence between our speech, reaching through pauses, inflections, literature coursing our exchanges through linked fingers and lingered squeezes. And when we kissed, it was flocks of birds bounding between us, dawn-like shimmering wings, flinging itself through mirroring limbs, spirits circling each other, diving and swirling through heartbeats and blinks, touching oceans within, where tears and memories had been swept. We fell into each other's worlds, danced 3 seasons together until autumn shed our touch. She had her city, I had mine. We became separated by seas and not enough time. The touch changed to longing. The gazes now glimmers on photo frames. The words exchanged as ink on letters, read cross-legged on empty beds. The kisses were now doves caressed across oceans, shedding feathers through the silence of dreams. Our love became about catching moments, snatching smiles, heard through the tone of voices through phones. And when we stopped, our words would dwell in the static. I would feel my chest soften to her, sway and glow till she slipped away, long through the night, hearing her breath still pulsing through the wires, hanging over cars and embraces of lovers closer than we. During the visits we drifted back to the parks, the cafes, touching the space between us, now so close we were almost as one. The intimacy became reverent, too present for words. Instead we spoke to each other by stroking the shapes of letters with our fingers, allowing words to linger in the air between us like light fading in the dark of closed eyes. Late into nights departed, it was those messages that remained, singeing the shadows of absence with the strains of remembrance. In the stirrings of lonely rooms we would once again raise fingers, yearning no longer to eyes but spirits, sweeping questions through moonlight, tumbling arms stretched into sleep to fetch our answers like silent dancers in our dreams. Night over night we would travel slumbered lands, searching for each other, until one night we found our reflections shimmering in embrace on the waters of a city that was her city and my city. We once again locked fingers, locked hearts, The touch grasped deeper from the spaces we travelled, unravelled as maps star-crossed on our palms, flaring paths where closeness lay. We knew that if we ever became lost again, this place would stay, sealed in the art of our love. The distance was healed. We would never again depart. Great. So